So let's have a look at the form as it is now. You'll notice that I've added in a title at the top. I've also changed the colours and the themes and the fonts that I've used, because this is about making the form a little bit more professional, a little bit more user friendly. We've got all the data that we need now. We have a working order form, so for example if I want to make a new order, if I head across there, I can select a date from my date picker, I can select a customer from my customer table, and this neat little feature, if I enter an item ID, watch what happens. Okay, Access looks up that item ID from the database. I can enter how many of those particular dolls were ordered, if I want to add another item, etc. Now, an extension activity could be to replace this field here with another combo box, so that's an extension one to see if some of you guys can figure out how to do that. You'd have to go back and edit this form slightly, but we're not going to worry about that for now. We're just going to finish off this form by including some useful buttons and features on it. Okay, so let's go back into design view. Okay, now the first button I'm going to add in is to do with customers, okay, because not all of my customers may be existing ones. I might need to add a new customer before they can then go on to make the order. So let's grab a button here and let's open that up. Okay, now what I'd want this button to do is open up my customer form. Now before I can actually set that up, I need to create my customer form, so I'm just going to delete that and go off to customer. I'm just going to quickly knock up a form like so and close that off and press yes. Okay, so I've got a customer form now. Let's go back to order, back into design view, and let's grab that button and draw it on again. Okay, so form operations, I want it to open a form and press next, and the form I'd like it to open is the customer form, and I don't want it to show any particular records, but I'm just going to have on here new customer as my option. Okay, and press next and press finish. Let's preview that and maybe just resize it a little bit. Okay, and let's see if it's working or not. If I go into form view, so let's do a new order again. Ignore the fact I'll probably have a different number of orders to you completely, so ignore the number of orders that I've got and the items on each order, because you won't have experimented in the same way that I have with the database. So let's put date in. Well, let's say we've got a new customer. If we click on this button now, well, we head over to the new customer form, and we can enter the details of new customer. So let's add Alex, let's add Mel Hewishin. Okay, and I could fill in the rest of the details, but for time I'm not, and so let's cross that off to save that customer. Now if we look in the drop down list, Alex hasn't appeared yet, but if we press F5 on the keyboard just to refresh everything in the database, and let's go back to that new order that we were making, an order number 8. If we look in the drop down box, hey, here I am, I'm ready to be added to an order, and with my new customer ID, I'm not sure what ID I've got actually. Let's have a look at what ID I've got. If I just refresh this table as well, oh there you go, I'm customer number 3, so that's what will get stored with that order. Okay, and if I want to go ahead and make that order, then off I go. Okay, so that's button number 1 done. Let's go back into design view again. Let's add another button. Well, another really useful button to have here would be to be able to generate the invoice. So let's do the same thing again. Let's draw a button on up here, and this time I want it obviously to open up a report, so I'm going to use report operations, open report, and press next, and the only report I've got made is that invoice report, so let's press next on that. And I'm going to stick with the icon. I think I could label it, but I think that icon is the most important report on this form, so let's leave it as that and place that onto the form, and let's test that again. Okay, so back into design view, and let's say for example I want to print the order for number 1. If I run this, it's asking me for what order number, or it should say that if you set that bit up properly. So order number 1, press OK, and there we go, I've got my receipt for that order. Okay, instantly generated, a click of a button. Great stuff. The other buttons that I might want to include, if I go back into design view, just helpful ones for navigating between the records perhaps. So let's add on a couple more. So record navigation, next record, so I can toggle through the orders in my database, and press finish. I'm happy with the icon for that, and it's definitely clear and easy to understand. Let's move it across a bit though, and let's grab another one and put it on here, and that will go to the previous record. Click finish. Okay, so I've got some record selectors on. Let's also have one for new record as well. So if I want to jump straight to being able to make a new order, form operations. Is it form operations? There we go. Yeah. So save record would also be useful, of course, but add new record we'll add in as well. And so you could build up your kind of little menu toolbar across the top here for our users to access. And I think there we go. Just Obviously mine needs a little bit of work in terms of layout and design of those buttons and a little bit of resizing, but hopefully you get the picture. You now have a fully fledged ICT system. We've got data input, we're using relationships, we're using lookups, we're creating invoices, everything's done instantaneously, we're not duplicating data. Well done if you've managed to complete these tutorials. Have a go at that extension task there to see if you can make this form even more user friendly. But good effort.